You see these AI models everywhere, right? Writing stuff, creating incredible art, even driving cars. But have you ever stopped to think about what it actually takes to get one of these things out of the lab and into the real world? It turns out that aha moment, that moment of creation, that's really just the beginning of a way bigger, much more complicated story.
So, we hear this all the time, right? AI models learn from data. It's like they're students in a class, studying for a big test. But what happens after class is over? What happens after the model graduates? Does it just, get a job and that's the end of it? Well, as we're about to find out, graduation day is where the real work and, the real challenges actually kick in.
All right, so let's start at the very beginning. This is the part that gets all the hype, the development phase. You can think of this as the creative spark, the place where data scientists and engineers first build the AI's brain.
Okay, so this right here, this is pretty much the classic blueprint for how an AI model gets made. You start with this mountain of raw data, and then you move through a few key stages. It looks pretty clean, doesn't it? A nice, neat little circle.
Let's break that down real quick. It all kicks off with gathering the data, the raw ingredients. Then you've got the cleanup phase, where you're trying to make sense of everything you've collected. After that comes a really crucial step, designing the model itself. This is where you tell the AI what kinds of patterns it should be looking for. And finally, it's time for school. You train the model and then you test it to see if it actually learned its lessons.
So, you've followed all the steps, you've got a trained model that's doing great on your test data, and you're thinking, awesome, let's launch this thing. But hold on, because here comes the big reality check.
I mean, you've done everything the textbook said to do. The model totally aced its tests, so we're done here, right? We can just package it up and ship it out?
Nope, not even close. And this right here gets to the absolute core of the problem. In the real world, just taking that trained model file and shipping it is a really, really bad idea. It's kind of like building this incredibly powerful engine, but then completely forgetting to build the rest of the car around it.
So, why is this such a terrible idea? Well, for starters, the world is always changing, right? A recommendation engine that was trained on last year's hit movies is going to get stale fast. And what about when something breaks? How in the world are you supposed to debug it if you don't know exactly what data and code were used to build it? Spoiler, you can't. Then you've got all the software dependencies you have to manage just to get it to run. And finally, think about regulations like GDPR over in Europe. You have to be able to prove how the model was trained, which is just impossible if all you have is the finished product. And all of this brings us to a much, much better way of thinking about this whole process. Instead of just focusing on that one-time creation of a model, the pros think about its entire life cycle, from the moment it's born all the way to when it's retired.
And this is what we call the machine learning lifecycle. It's not just a buzzword. It's a complete framework for managing a model's whole journey. See, this isn't a one-time thing. It's a continuous loop of development, deployment, monitoring, and then retraining. This is the absolute core idea behind what the industry calls MLOps, which is short for machine learning operations.
This shift in thinking is absolutely fundamental. You're moving away from building a fragile, one-off prototype that's just a total nightmare to fix, and you're moving towards engineering a robust, solid system that's actually designed for continuous learning and maintenance. It's really the difference between having a static, mysterious black box and a transparent, auditable system that you can actually trust. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This whole lifecycle approach is so critical that major companies have built entire platforms around it. Let's take a quick look at how the pros are actually doing this.
Okay, first up, TensorFlow Extended, or TFX, which comes from Google. The key idea behind it is pretty simple but powerful. They adapt the proven best practices we've learned from decades of software development, and they apply them to the machine learning lifecycle. It's all about bringing discipline and reliability to what can be a very messy, creative process.
Here's another great example, a concept called Model Hub. The core insight here is that managing a model isn't just about keeping track of the code. No, it's about versioning the code and the data it was trained on together. They're two sides of the same coin. You can't separate them if you want a system you can actually manage and, trust.
Okay, so we've gotten into some of the technical stuff, but let's just take a step back for a second and talk about why all of this is so incredibly important for, well, all of us. So, if there's one thing you take away from this, let it be this. Creating a trained AI model, that's just the starting line of its journey. It is never the finish line. Building a successful AI application isn't about that one magic moment of creation. It's about building a reliable, maintainable system that can actually grow and evolve with the world around it.
And that really leaves us with a huge question to think about.
As AI gets more and more woven into our daily lives, we're talking our healthcare, our finances, our transportation. How do we make sure that these systems aren't just smart, but that they're also dependable and accountable? Because as we've seen today, thinking in life cycles isn't just some technical detail for engineers. It's the very foundation for building AI that we can all truly trust.